Have you seen the new FNAF trailer?
I have to leave right now.
Those eyes. Those horrible
Red
eyes.
Have you seen the new FNAF trailer?
The animatronic characters here do get a bit quirky at night.
Have you seen the new FNAF trailer?
Five Nights at Freddy movie fans, it's been a wonderful 24 hours since they finally released the official teaser trailer for the movie, immediately becoming the #1 trending video on YouTube, gaining millions of views and downloads. It feels like this movie is set up to be a major hit with not a lot of complaints so far. The most common one having to do with the animatronics rocking some red eyes. Other than that though, fans have been quick to start their speculation, theorizing, wondering, what's going down in this movie? And well, I thought it would be fun to go ahead and round up the most popular theories I was seeing in the comment section of my trailer breakdown, which thank you so much guys for supporting that video. It really means a lot. You guys were really showing your enthusiasm for the movie, and I just thought it'd be fun to continue on the talk and set up this hype train till October. So as we run through these little theories, I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you buy into them? Do you think, nah, that's not really a plausible one? Don't get upset or angry with yourself. This is just for fun and to entertain us, okay? Don't be mad if we say something wild and out there. Wouldn't be the first time we make them kind of theories, right? Jumping into our first theory here involves the previous security guard that Josh Hutcherson's character, Mike Schmidt, will be replacing in the movie. Since the trailer obviously sets up his death in the film and like he's gonna be killed off by an animatronic, it seems pretty likely we might have found our phone guy. That's a recurring thing a lot of fans are saying here in the first FNAF game. Once you were hired in to be the night security guard, you would have these tapes from the previous security guard, phone guy, voiced by Scott Cawthon, the creator of the game, just kind of giving you little tips and hints on what to do throughout the night to survive.
Hello, I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in on your first night.
In the game's lore, it said that the security guard died on night 4 out of the 5 by an unknown animatronic. And I feel like, yeah, that does kind of set up the perfect angle for this to be our phone guy. There's only a couple of reasons I don't think that they'll end up playing the tapes or doing the whole phone guy thing in this movie. For one, I totally believe fans in thinking that Scott would like to be the phone guy voice cameo of the movie. It would just be so fitting, but no, if this guy ends up being phone guy, he'd have to be the voice. But my main reason for maybe not believing why they'd play the tapes is because that's kind of Vanessa's role in the movie. While phone guy was kind of there in the video games to kind of update you on the lore, give you a little bit of detail about what this place was all about, that's kind of gonna be Vanessa's role in the movie. She's gonna be the police officer coming into the pizzeria and telling you the history about this place. So we'll have to wait and see on that, but a pretty plausible one. You guys were also quick to point out that although it looks like at one point Mike will be strapped down to that death trap chair, which we'll talk about in a sec, the first victim we'll see in that chair will be this first security guard, as he's wearing the security guard uniform and Mike Schmidt is not wearing that kind of uniform. Well, thanks to a new photo of the movie that's landed online showcasing Mike Schmidt, played by Josh Hutcherson, strapped down into this device, about to get a Freddy Fazbear mask shredding up his face. This is one gnarly image and just offers more insight to what could be going down. This not only will debunk a couple of theories, it also will back up some other ones. So although people were saying that that was probably the security guard getting strapped down to the chair for the first time, it might actually be Mike Schmidt the entire time, because here in this photo from a different angle, it looks like he does eventually put on the traditional security guard outfit. So although this looked like the first security guard getting strapped down, it might be Mike Schmidt himself, and the first security guard just ends up kind of dying off screen with an animatronic running towards him, and the movie just kind of cutting to black. But as I was mentioning, there's other theories you could take away from this photo. For one, this might be the new way a suit gets spring locked. Traditionally in the Five Nights at Freddy's game, there was an early diner known as Fredbear's Family Diner that only featured 2 animatronics at the time, a yellow Fredbear and a yellow Spring Bonnie. These were unique suits because they were able to be used as animatronics, but also a human person could fit inside them. Only problem is, if you got them wet just a little bit, it would malfunction and spring lock you inside of it, eventually killing you. And that's where the infamous bite in the FNAF lore floor comes from when a kid was crying inside the mouth of the Fredbear. The moisture from his tears caused it to spring lock and end up unaliving him. But it looks like they might not be wanting to do the simple jump in and out of the suit, and instead William Afton is going full robotic crazy and has instead created a saw-like torture device meant to stuff you inside the suit and shred you up. People have pulled up another phone guy conversation that pretty much describes this exact moment.
Probably tried to forcefully stuff you inside a Freddy Fazbear suit. Now, that wouldn't be so bad if the suits themselves weren't filled with cross beams, wires, and animatronic devices, especially around the facial area. So you can imagine how having your head forcefully pressed inside one of those could cause a bit of discomfort and death.
Still, it's probably a stretch to say this is the new spring locking. Other theories I've seen is people think this will end up being a dream sequence, similar to something that happens in the second Five Nights at Freddy's game. That could maybe be a possibility here. The actor Christian Stokes, who is playing the character of Hank in the movie, a lot of us believing that's actually going to be Henry Emily, the co-owner of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, he used the word scoop when showing off the photo, possibly hinting that this is the movie's version of a scooper. But you know what? The most wild theory concerning this photo right now is that people think this is just getting stuff, Mike being forced into the suit, and maybe it's successful, and that's why we have one of the Freddy Fazbear animatronic suits being friendly towards Abby and wanting to protect her, because this is her older brother Mike. I feel like that's a crazy theory you would expect to happen in the games, but in the movies, they're still trying to please general audiences. That might be going a little too wild too early. Bringing me to the next theory here that I don't even think is a theory. This is pretty much fact. When we got this reveal of the first official photo for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, it seemed pretty obvious to me that this was just Freddy Fazbear. And over the years of the place being shut down since the 80s, the animatronic has just been withered down, gotten rusty and ugly. But even when this image came out, a lot of people were screaming to the top of their lungs that this is actually Golden Freddy that was used during the Fredbear family diner. And now looking at the footage that we've actually gotten from this teaser trailer, even though the restaurant has been closed down for several years, the animatronics look pretty clean and spiffy, like they are spotless. So comparing this Freddy Fazbear to the one that we got in the official image, these are two completely different animatronics, making it seem like you guys were right. That was Golden Freddy the entire time. In my trailer breakdown, I mentioned I was a little lost on who this specific kid could be because he didn't exactly match any of the main animatronics, but the top hat, the golden stripes, yeah, that's the child who will haunt the Golden Freddy suit. But that wasn't the only thing you guys were quick to point out. A lot of people who checked out the leak trailer, which I'm not going to show any footage of, there was a lot of comments mentioning that at the end of that leaked trailer, we get to see a Freddy Fazbear-like suit, but with glowing blue eyes. One that was getting into a taxi cab with the character of Abby, where we got the little cameo of Corey Kenshin. This now puts everything into a wild new perspective in terms of the games and what they're doing in the movie. So the Red Eye animatronics are essentially evil, wanting to make Abby one of them, while it looks like the Gold Fredbear suit is wanting to protect Abby and not have her have the same faith. So now kind of bringing it back to this image, where is the Spring Bonnie suit? We're only looking at the Fredbear version. You gotta think at some point when our heroes get the upper hand on William Afton, they probably give him a taste of his own medicine and put him inside that chair, thinking they're defeating an evil man, but really they're only gonna end up making him stronger. So it could be that William Afton has a ton of different torture devices, and the Spring Bonnie one might be somewhere else in this movie. Ooh, is it not getting exciting talking about all this? Might not even happen, getting our hopes up and everything, but I see those dots connecting, do you not? That also even makes me wonder, like, what's William Afton's new goal in this movie? Is he gonna have the same goal in the games? Because later on it's revealed not only does he like unaliving children for the fun of it, he basically finds out by doing this he can collect Remnant, which is like this energy source that lets him be immortal. Honestly, I wish I could explain it better to you. And I just don't know if that's something they'll throw into this universe. Is he unaliving people for this Remnant energy that'll keep him alive, or does he got other motivations? Really, that's just some of the stuff I kept seeing being tossed around and talked about in the comments section. It is fun to be talking about this movie and wondering what the differences could be in live action form. I definitely want to hear from you guys, whether you yell at me if I got something horribly wrong or sounding stupid. It makes me feel good. Lets me know some of y'all are passionate about this stuff. Love to hear it all down below. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.